Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webcast on how an API-powered partner ecosystem helps Banco Azteca expand their offerings beyond banking. My name is Manoj Gunti, and I'm the Product Marketing Manager for Google Cloud's Apigee API Management Platform. Today, we are joined by Javier Solano, who is the Director of IT and Digital Transformation at Banco Azteca. Banco Azteca is a large multinational bank which is based out of Mexico, and they also operate in many other countries in Southern America. Before we dive in, I just wanted to cover real quick some of the housekeeping items. There are a few items at the bottom of your screen with multiple application engagement tools you can use. All the engagement tools are resizable and movable, so feel free to move them around to get the most of your desktop space. You can extend your slide area to maximize it to full screen by clicking on arrows in the right top corner. Be sure to hit Media at the bottom ribbon to see the slides. Additional resource materials are available in the resource list towards the bottom of your screen. We encourage you to download any resources or links that you may find it useful. The webcast is being streamed through your computer, so there is no dial-in number. At any time during this session, you can ask a question. We recommend you not to wait until the end. You can submit them in the Q&A module as it shows in the picture over here. We will try to answer these during the webcast, but if a fuller answer is required or we run out of time, we will send you a separate email later. Please know we do capture all questions. To answer one common question now, we will be recording the event, and a copy of today's presentation will be emailed a couple of days after the event. For any technical issues you may be having, consider refreshing your screen or logging in and out. With that, let's get started. So some of the things that we want to cover in this webcast is basically around what are the challenges that companies and developers are facing today, and why digital business ecosystems becomes extremely critical to solve some of those challenges. And very recently, Google Cloud also conducted a survey of 1,000 CIOs across the globe around their digital business ecosystem strategy, and we do want to share some of the key findings from that result. And then we will take case in point Banco Azteca, which is a large multinational bank, as I mentioned before. And Banco Azteca has been using this whole digital business ecosystem strategy to achieve a lot of things which beyond just traditional banking. So we will take a deeper look into their case study. And then finally, we will have some time to take question and answers. And if you have any questions, please feel free to post them at any time during this webcast in the Q&A console. So with the outbreak of pandemic and with digital becoming the first and most important piece of the entire customer engagement, most businesses and most customers are today relying on digital as a primary channel to interact with each other. And what becomes increasingly challenging is that many businesses that have been on the back foot of driving the digital transformation programs today find it very, very difficult to accelerate their digital programs very quickly. And with digital becoming the first and foremost way of interacting with businesses, many programs that are running slow in their organization, for example, the mobile app that companies wanted to create, or the omni-channel retail experience that companies wanted to create, anything around incorporating AI and ML into front-end experiences to optimize the customer experience. Those are the kind of projects which are now very, very important to drive to market as soon as possible. And with most of the top line revenues taking a hit, it is also becoming very important for enterprises to look for additional revenue channels so that they can maintain their profitability as well. But if you actually look at it, all of these challenges are in most ways related to enterprise digital transformation programs. So what it is increasingly becoming evident to most of the business leaders and IT leaders is that in order for them to kind of like sustain in this new normal world and to meet the demands of customers in a digital way, they have to accelerate their digital transformation programs. Otherwise, it is going to be very difficult to kind of meet the new needs of the customer today. And how does digital business ecosystem actually solve the problem of accelerating digital transformation? And before going to that, let's understand what are digital ecosystems. There are three key components of enterprise digital ecosystems. One is internal developers. And these internal developers could be either technical developers or they could be line of business developers. So it becomes extremely important to equip your internal developers, both technical and line of business, with the right information, data, and services in order for them to build applications and front-end experiences really faster for end consumers. And how can you make sure that you can increase the productivity of your developers by encouraging reusability of shared services? And when you have line of business developers who are not technical enough, how can you provide them no-code applications and data and services as a data source for those no-code applications through platforms like AppSheet? And we have many examples within the Apigee customer community who have enabled their developer ecosystems, both internal and external, in terms of providing them with the right data and services to accelerate application development. The second pillar of digital ecosystems is external developer community. Sometimes when you may have data or services within your organization, which is like super important to share it with external developer community, because by using those data and services, they are able to build applications and experiences for customers, which may drive indirect traffic to your business. And sometimes it is so valuable for developers that you can even charge them to generate additional business revenue for your organization. A great example of that is AccuWeather. AccuWeather shares the current weather data and weather forecast data through APIs to developers and partners or businesses outside of the organization. And this becomes extremely important for them to kind of like incorporate weather information into the apps and services that they are building for their end consumers. The third important pillar is business partnerships. This could be about integrating your business with suppliers and buyers outside the organization, or integrating with logistics partners or delivery providers. And even in this case, sometimes the data or services that you expose outside of your organization become so important that you can even monetize those services to a great extent. So these are the three key pillars of digital ecosystems. Now, let's take a quick look at the survey that we conducted through the help of Oxford Economics, where we looked at 1,000 CIOs and we interviewed them on their digital ecosystem strategy and what are some of the benefits that they see. We looked at CIOs and we interviewed them across retail, financial services, manufacturing, healthcare, telco, media and entertainment, several verticals, and most of these are from very large organizations with $10+ billion in revenue. So what was very evident from that research is that digital business ecosystem leaders, this is a small group of 100+ CIOs who have already been doing a lot of great initiatives around digital ecosystems. That means that they have been able to create developer ecosystems within the organization. They have done partnerships. They have been doing some kind of monetization, which could be either direct or indirect. So they have already started to see a large direct business value benefits. For example, 96% of those leaders reported strong customer perception than their peers, who reported only 41%. And digital business ecosystem leaders reported 6.7% average revenue growth compared to 4.9% among those who have not done any digital ecosystems. Most importantly, they also see a greater flexibility in a lot of business critical processes like supply chain and relationship with customers, or it could be about readiness for regulation, any regulation changes that they may expect. So the key takeaway from this particular insight is that if you are doing digital business ecosystems or incorporating those strategies, then it is very evident that you will see direct business value benefits from those strategies. And we also see APIs playing a very, very important role in building and scaling digital business ecosystems. Among all the different technology components, CIOs rate APIs as the most critical and important piece of driving this strategy. And we also see that they agree that APIs are very important to kind of have this interactions with the developers, to build great experiences for customers, to seamlessly onboard and integrate with partners and vendors, and not only that, but also to interact with other organizations within that industry. The adoption of APIs, it could be either API gateways or API management, has been on the rise. A lot of digital business ecosystem leaders already have been incorporating APIs into their strategy and into their IT stack. We also see that those who are not doing it today are very keen to incorporate APIs into their programs and strategies in the next 3 years to drive powerful business ecosystem strategies. And APIs are super important primarily because they kind of like abstract the whole backend services and the complexity of backend services, and they bring in features like security, scalability, manageability, analytics, and monetization capabilities for your backend services, and expose them very securely to your developers, your partners, as well as your customers, for them to build innovative and futuristic experiences. With that, let me hand it over to Javier Solano to talk a little bit more about Banco Azteca and how the company has been using digital business ecosystem strategies powered by Apigee API management platform to provide banking services and things beyond banking services to their customers.
Thank you, Manoj. And first of all, to tell you a little bit more about Banco Azteca that you probably never have heard of. Banco Azteca is part of a big group called Grupo Salinas. Grupo Salinas is a Mexican group owned by Ricardo Salinas Pliego that have many companies in several industries like media, the second largest TV network in Mexico, Total Play, a cable operator, a Seguros Azteca insurance company, a Azteca pension fund company. Even we Italica, that's the largest motorbike company in Latin America, and in Banco Azteca at the center of that, as our the bank that has 18 years of existence, a young bank in Mexico, but it's a quite unique Mexican bank that has been investing a lot in technology and innovation. Actually, it was one of the first or a pioneer in financial inclusion in Mexico. We serve the underbanked people since the beginning, providing consumer loans for everyone. This is the micro loans to the people, and we provide also current accounts and every financial system you already know. It's a big bank in terms of their branch network because we need to serve the people that where no other bank has. So we have like 1,800 branches in Mexico. It's even larger than the BBVA in Mexico. That's the largest one in assets. So this is a company that we're growing a lot. It's at the center of our own existing ecosystem of companies. The Banco Azteca provides financial services to buy consumer goods in Electra or to buy something in Total Play. So it's quite natural because we already have. But then we were thinking that the most important or the more challenging problem for us is the competition that's not natural for us. We used to compete with banks that we know, but now the banks are not the enemy, are not the what we should be dealing with competition. Our competition now it's in e-commerce, in platform companies. Even though large retailers are becoming our competition, non-traditional competitors are rising everywhere. In the fintechs that some people still think that there could be some a challenger, some competition. It's not at all anymore. They're becoming partners for us. So with this changing environment, we have thought that for us to be still relevant for our customers, we need to be where our customers need us. We need to create or to build an ecosystem, bundling the different products and the offerings we have as a group, not only as a financial system branch, but a way to provide a benefit, provide a financial service where the customer need us. That loan that we provide in Electra should be, everywhere, in every e-commerce, in every company that need us. Every financial system service we provide, every payment system we provide should be spread everywhere. And as a bundle of products and services we provide as a group, or as an extended, ecosystem user. Services provided by third parties or integrated into a fintech company. So one of the challenges we have is how to enable this ecosystem. How do we provide the financial systems beyond the bank where the customers need us? The other challenge is how we all have legacy systems. Actually, I'm implementing a new core banking system, and I know how hard and how challenging it is. It takes time, it takes a lot of money, a lot of effort, but now what our customers need is immediate products, immediate digital products. So what we should be doing is what we thought about is how do we go fast? Can we go faster without having to deal or having a way around all this technology legacy? How do we provide this seamless, inconsistent experience to our customers, not only across our channels, but across different, companies in our group or different or fintechs or other business partners? How do we provide a seamless experience so that our customers understand that they are dealing with Banco Azteca? How do we bundle, as I mentioned, this digital solution, including services or value we can provide as a bank, as a group, or using third-party, value or propositions from other partners? So that's how we started. we started with an API program that we know that's the basic or it's the foundation for our strategy. In the first of all that we came out, we're not creating an API program led by technology. For sure, with technology, we started with this goal. We started with this project, but for us, the most important part is to create an API program led by the business. And we started and we created this with a team to think about APIs not as integration pieces, to think about APIs as products, a digital product that should be carefully designed, starting with the customer journey that we need or we want to expose, the customer journey we're planning for our customers or the customers of our partners, and how we align all these pieces, technology pieces to this journey. So the API itself, our API products, like we call them, it's not only that mere transactions. They're processed and encapsulated with business rules encapsulated that provide or bundle a lot of data to be gathered and exploited after that to understand what the customer preferences are, how are they better, they want to be served, where exactly, at what moment, and working with those data to ensure we can provide contextual offers, we can provide value exactly where our customer needs us. So the way we started with this is with having this kind of conversations with our customer, our business counterparts, and we started with creating this program with our business users at the center. We created a business committee when we started evangelizing about what APIs are for, what are the values, the value of the APIs, how our APIs used in different countries and different latitudes, how we could take advantage of that. And with this committee, we started, created with the help of Google to raise some ideas of what the roadmap would look like for every digital business department in the company or in different companies. So we started with the roadmap and we created the different categories that we wanted to dig into, or the different APIs that we can or different products we can expose to the market. So we started with creating this roadmap, and the cornerstone of it was and is the API Center of Excellence. With the help with Google, we created we not only installed a tool, we created a process to create the products, to discover the products, and after that to create them, to enable them, to ensure that we have the right processes and the right governance framework to ensure this initiative will be long will last in time, that we have the solid foundation to not only expose the products, but also enable a lot of people in the company, a lot of people in the organization to provide new products to the company. What we wanted to create is a community. We didn't want to create an API factory that we have. We wanted to create a community of developers, inside developers and inside business owners that can lead new future or new products and create new products. And we needed to provide them these tools and provide a governance framework so everyone can be aligned to that, and we don't create different or two APIs that do the same thing, to provide this governance framework and to enable everyone to create those products. So we focus on different categories, as you may know that, the loans, deposits, payments is very important, bill payments, some in that we're exploring with corporate banking and digital identity, and other services provided from others, in creating, crafting this approach and exposing them through our internal marketplace, and now we're in beta for the new marketplace for external partners, not the public marketplace. So we started with this process, and we have helped also to the business owners to create the synergies with other fintechs, with other companies that could power not only the products we provide, but also create new business relationships with them. A cornerstone here also is our product marketplace. Our product marketplace serves us as a way to communicate internally and to the public what we have to offer, and we provide there a lot of information in the internal marketplace about who's the product owner of the API, who's the API leader, who's the API leader for the legacy system, which is the process that's being mapped there, in where the APIs are done, or where the APIs work there. We provide a sandbox, the documentation, and a community that's growing and providing more information, more documentation on every API. So we have an owner that is responsible to ensure that the API is reused. I've said that FE has been very important, and Google has been a very good partner for us. We chose Apigee because we thought that it's a great tool, but what we discovered is that's a great partner also. We are very comfortable with the platform. We're processing a lot of transactions every day with no outreach at all. We also have the ability to exploit the different features from API analytics. We provide a lot of features in security. Actually, our security officers love Apigee. We also been very close to Google to know what's coming next and how do we take advantage of part of the features that Apigee has, and it's becoming widespread in every developer to think about an API first. So far, the program has over 100 digital products in production, and every week we have more and more in different categories. We have right now that we're starting, we have a rate of use of 50%. That's pretty high, but we plan to have it growing and growing. What we would like to do to ensure that the digital business owners can go faster, because all the pieces are there and they have plenty of options to choose to craft their digital products. We have over 20 partners on board in the program, and we process 9 million transactions per day, and it's just starting with this 100 products. We plan to grow a lot more during this end of year and the next one. And we have another important part. We have over 300 developers enrolled in the program that know how to create, design, and to create, develop APIs. And they're enrolled in the governance framework we provide. So that's all from my part. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Manoj. I hope it's helpful for many people that want to start with their programs.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Javier. So let's move on and take some questions from the audience. Let me go to the questions slide. Okay, so first question we have is, did Banco Azteca expose APIs to developers outside of the organization? So did you expose this and create a community of developers outside the organization heavier?
Yeah, we have two marketplaces. One of them is internal, it's becoming very used for the people. In the other one is external, where we have some APIs exposed. Given that said, we also have partners that have onboarded, but they use other APIs that have not publicly exposed in the sandbox in the external marketplace. But it's something that we're working on to enable more and more APIs, public APIs, during this year.
Okay, that's great. And there is a question for me on how Apigee differs from cloud endpoints. So cloud endpoints is Google Cloud's API gateway, and Apigee API management is an API management platform, which basically does a lot more than an API gateway, wherein you will be able to manage security. You have a developer portal. You can do analytics on top of it. You can manage APIs as products. You can monetize those APIs. So these are some of the additional capabilities that Apigee brings to the table beyond providing an API gateway like cloud endpoints. But if you need a lightweight API gateway for managing things like your serverless services, etc., then cloud endpoints would also be a good option. The other question is, let me see. What is the connection of product name and APPs? I'm not sure if I understood the question correctly, but Javier, is this a question for you?
Which one is that?
What is the connection between product name and APPs?
Oh, I don't get that question also. What is the connection of product names and APIs? I think I'm not following that. What we did is, our APIs are exposed to our internal channels and are also exposed to fintechs and other companies and other business partners. So after what we do is when we design following the customer journey that we want to offer our customers or the other platform customers, and we craft the API offering, the API that be exposed to that, crafting the different pieces we already have developed. I don't know if that was the question about.
Yeah. No, the question was about the product name and the app name, so which is clear. Thank you. Thanks so much for explaining. There is one more question for you. Javier, please explain how you are currently leveraging API analytics to explore market growth opportunities.
Okay, this is a very, very interesting question. What we're doing is every API is crafted with a lot of metadata that we have from a location of the user, from where the customer is, which customer is, which transaction. So we mix all the data with the customer data itself to nurture the customer profile, so we can have more not only information about the transaction itself, but what is done from which locations, and try to push offerings tied to the customer lifestyle. If someone is, for example, accessing through web more than mobile, or everyone is going mobile and he uses this part of application, we try to understand the behavior and we create offerings where the customer will respond better. And also we use that data, I told you, to nurture the profile and understand how the customer spends, how the customer wants to pay, or where he pays for example, their bills, offer products according to their profile. For example, we offer right now, according to the number of deposits, the withdrawals, we can offer you or transactions. We can offer you investment accounts or this kind of term deposits accounts, based on your behavior. So it's becoming quite important, the metadata that we can gather from SEG.
Sounds good. Thank you. The next question, I would like to combine two questions because they're all on the same topic. Do you use Apigee to monetize or charge for APIs? And the other question is, does Apigee offer a way for monetization? So I will take the second question first, and Javier, I will let you answer the first part of the question. So yes, Apigee does offer monetization. We have one of the most comprehensive monetization pack on top of the existing Apigee API management platform. It allows many different business models like freemium. You can give it for free, and then you can also do rate-based model, a menu-based model. You can charge customers based on consumption. You can also have a subscription-based model, etc. And it also provides integration with several billing platforms. So it is a full-fledged monetization platform that lets you charge for the consumption of APIs. So the question to you, Javier, is have you used any of the monetization capabilities of Apigee?
No, so far. That perhaps we are a little bit immature in Mexico to public monetization programs. What we do is when we start with a deal with another company, we establish a profit model, and that's the way we do. We don't charge. Currently, we don't charge per transaction. We create a business plan with them and create a business or profit model with them.
It's good. I also have a very interesting question. On what basis do you bundle APIs as a product? Which productization model worked for you?
Yeah, it's interesting. We have, as a group, we have a bunch of things to offer. For example, we can provide not only bill payments, for example, bill payments using, we can provide you a loan, for example, for paying some bills. We offer you the product with a loan, or a consumer good, for example, with a loan attached. Or we can offer you, for example, some moral bike with a loan attached. So it's part of the things that have been done. So we bundle a value provided from another company with a business, with a financial service that we provide as a group. That's the kind of bundling things we are doing. Besides what we do for traditional, products like account opening and all the account management APIs that are widespread in the market. We're trying to create this kind of product. So we're working, for example, in like we call them the payment button to be a part of different, or to be delivered to different e-commerces as a way to pay by credit using our traditional loans model. That's becoming quite interesting because it's not a traditional credit card model. It's very, a different one that will enable many people that currently don't have access to a credit card to buy by credit in different e-commerces.
Cool. Thank you, Javier. The next question for you is, what kind of security did you implement for APIs for accessibility and usability? Okay.
In terms of security, you use, for example, TLS, two-way TLS. Obviously, we have all this. We use the client secret for every transaction, plus the different spike arrest policies that we have. But Plus, we have many, tools in the perimeter to avoid attacks and several stuff. So it's becoming interesting that RPG provides a lot of features on that particular part. Actually, we use, for example, the SSO module of RPG also. So it's becoming quite a good news that our security officers are very enthusiastic in RPG.
Okay. The next question is, how do you monitor your APIs?
Okay, we have a monitoring platform that's sensing every API is exposed, plus the tools that RPG provides. Actually, with monitoring in terms of infrastructure monitoring, we have a lot of stuff, and we have alerts when something goes wrong. Right now, we have also the time response measurements that it's becoming awesome because RPG is right now delivering like between 20 and 30 milliseconds of latency in that layer. That's becoming very good for us because we don't feel that RPG is there. But in business terms, we constantly monitoring also which APIs are used the most. Actually, we have a leaderboard here to monitor which APIs are used the most, which are most reused, which are the channels that they have more requests. And we have this internal contest that's becoming good for the internal community to provide more APIs, to provide or to transact the most. It's becoming quite interesting.
Sure. And the other question is, you mentioned about API providers or producers, and you also talked about API Center of Excellence. So one question that I have here is, are those two different groups or two different organizations in the same group? Same group?
The API Center of Excellence is the one I lead. And it's an organization in IT that provides these services, training, governance framework, architecture, and also to have a little API factory. But we created API champions in every IT organization, and they work together with us in the API committee with the business users. Every business area, every business organization has their own digital champions. So we work together with them and in this committee to create the roadmap, and we follow up with the TI API champion and our API Center of Excellence in the follow-up of this roadmap and enable them to create the new products and ensure that the architecture, their patterns are followed, and we have very curated catalog to offer.
Awesome. Thank you, Javier. That is all the questions that we are able to address at this point of time. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. And please don't forget to tune in to our upcoming webcast. We'll also be sharing some very interesting insights. And I did talk about an Oxford Economics research and report, so please go to the resources console and download the full research summary, where we have shared some insights on how ecosystems can really help you and why APIs are super important for your ecosystem strategy. And we do have a lot of best practices from many CIOs in that report. Last but not the least, Google is a data-driven company, so please, we are always looking for ways to improve. Please take a few minutes to give us some feedback in terms of what are the ways in which we can improve, and also do share some ideas on what you want to hear in the upcoming webcast so we can make it more useful and productive for you. With that, thank you so much once again for joining, and have a nice rest of your day. And thank you so much, Javier, for your participation.
Thank you so much.